If you can't make it out to the game and you want to watch online, you can do so. But getting ready for this matchup, I did take a little time to go and talk with both coaches. I know normally we do a recorded coaches interview, but instead I just figured, I got 4 coaches to talk to tonight. I might as well just talk to them face to face. When I talked with Coach Culpepper, one of the primary things that we talked about was the loss they suffered on Saturday. I don't get to say this very often, but the Tipton ladies are coming off of a loss, as this is the Dunn & Associates coaches interview, by the way. They faced off with the number 8 ranked team in Class 5 basketball, the Elias Lady Crusaders. And I asked Coach, what happened? He said, well, to be frank, at the half, we were up 19-13, and then we didn't show up in the third quarter. They got outscored 20-8 in that third quarter, and while they were able to cut the lead down to about 3 with 2 minutes to go, they never could completely close the gap, and they suffered their 3rd loss of the season at the hands of Elias. So Tipton comes in with 3 losses on their record as they are already looking towards the postseason. And for the Stover ladies come into this one looking to get momentum as they head into their postseason as well, which will be hosted over in Cole Camp. Stover, a very nice record in their own right, 15-9 coming into this one. And they've won 3 straight over Crest Ridge, Lamont, and Otterville. So they get ready for these Tipton ladies to come in with a record of 22-3. So this probably the biggest or the best matchup of the season for the Stover ladies. They played some good teams along the way. But Tipton with the best record. Stover did square off with Northwest Hughesville earlier on in the season, who is 21-2. So definitely nothing to shake your head at by any means. But these Tipton Lady Cardinals, as I said, are ranked number 2 in Class 2 and hold a pretty big win over Northwest. We're about 6.5 minutes away from game time as both squads out on the floor right now getting ready for this contest. And I don't know, I may have a little help on the call tonight. I may not. We'll have to wait and see how it plays out. But as I said, talked with Coach Culpepper. He talked about that game and asked him what he wanted to see tonight. And for him, it was about execution. He wanted to see his girls show up and play well, and he wanted to see what they can do in the second half. He felt like they haven't played well in the second half here over the past few weeks, and with postseason coming up, they needed to change that. Now, tail of the tape on the other side, when I went and talked with Coach Reardon and Assistant Coach Moon for the Stover Lady Bulldogs, it was all about the zone. They said they don't like their matchups man-to-man, so they're going to come out in a zone, maybe throw a little junk at them, actually, and see if they can run the shooters off the line and try to make Tipton uncomfortable shooting the ball. They really thought their bigs could battle down low and be physical with Tipton, and that might help them out in the paint, help them out rebounding, but their big concern was run the shooters off the three-point line for Tipton and make them perhaps force a shot or two. So Stover going to look to be physical down low and athletic on the outside. Tipton, it's all about execution. So as I said, 2 teams at a little different place in the season right now, both looking for a big win. We'll go ahead and take a break, come back with more of the H&R block of Versailles pregame show, as well as your starting lineups. You're listening to and watching KS95 Sports.
When you're looking for a new furnace or air conditioner, price is important, but warranty, reliability, and efficiency are big factors too. At DeGraff & Reed Heating and Cooling, you'll receive very competitive pricing on the industry-leading Air Ease products. Every Air Ease product is built on 80 years of experience, testing, and research. Servicing the Lake and Jefferson City areas for nearly 15 years, DeGraff & Reed Heating and Cooling, for reliable products offered by reliable people, called DeGraff & Reed Heating and Cooling. California Chrysler announces their President's Day sales event. Huge savings, 0% financing for 72 months to qualified buyers on the 2023 Charger SXT and GT and Challenger SXT and GT models. With 3 stores to pull from, our selection is the best in the area. That's Cliff Harris, California Chrysler, where we want you to be another happy customer.
At Versailles Total Fitness, they want to make sure that you get the most out of your fitness and training and achieve your desired goals. Tara Grantham is a certified personal trainer and registered occupational therapist who can help you reach your goals and stay injury-free on the way. For prices, call Tara at 573-789-6800 at their new staffed hours, Monday through Wednesday from 9 to 5:30. That's Versailles Total Fitness at 131 North Monroe Street. Versailles Total Fitness, helping you reach a healthier lifestyle.
3:40 away from the opening tip in this matchup between the Tipton ladies and the Stover ladies. Both of these teams, like I said, already thinking about the postseason, and Tipton is going to go into their district play as the 1 seed and the odds-on favorite to walk out of that district. Stover, you talk about a tough district to play in. They're going to go in as the number 2 seed. Very, very nice seeding. However, in their district this year, number 1 seeded California, who also happens to be one of the top 10 ranked teams in the state of Missouri. So Stover going to have their hands full in that district. But these Stover ladies are well coached. They execute well. They play well together as we're going to get potted up. I'm excited for this. I'm joined by my buddy Brock Nolting on with me tonight. Brock, how are you, man?
Good. How are you?
Oh, fantastic. I was just talking about districts are right around the corner. And if you're the Stover ladies, you got to feel like somebody out there in Misha is picking on you, because if you go through the years, they had Tipton in their district forever. And then they're like, all right, Tipton's moving classes. And then Misha said, oh, but you have Skyline in your district now. And they go, okay, Skyline's moving districts and dropping a class. And they go, oh, that's fine. Well, here's the ranked California ladies now. Stover can't catch a break.
Yep. You know, if they would have got a better drawing in that deal, if California doesn't get drawn in their district, they probably definitely have a chance to win that district if they don't end up getting put with California. But hey, yeah, I mean, it's all about when you get hot at the end of the year.
The beauty of postseason, any given day, anybody can win. And those California ladies are good, but so are these Stover ladies. As we're looking at tonight's matchups, for the Stover Lady Bulldogs, I know you've got to see them play quite a bit. Who stands out to you tonight? Who's going to have a big game offensively to help these ladies out?
You know, we've got plenty of girls that can knock down shots. It's just about working the ball around to get those open shots. You know, Tipton's defense is going to be tough. Got to make the most of getting those open shots. Mia Rowland off the bench, she can shoot just as good as anybody on the floor. And you know, same with Hannah. She can make the open ones too. And if you can get those girls to have 10, 12 points apiece, you know, you're going to be in ball games.
I know sometimes when you're playing somebody that's been perennial, you know, that's not even a word. That's been good for a good little while now, like these Tipton ladies. It's easy to get into your head early. So I feel like going into this first quarter of play, it's going to be huge for Stover to start strong. You don't want to come in already feeling like you're down 10 points. I mean, how big is it for the Lady Bulldogs to come out and hit some shots early?
Yeah, you know, if they can hit a couple early shots, you know, make a layup or two, and then force a couple turnovers on defense, you know, that boosts the confidence a bunch going down the stretch. Last year, you know, they were hanging in there, and then, you know, one mistake, you know, and we got flustered. Next thing you know, it's a 20-point game. So these girls got to know they can play with them for sure, because they did last year for almost a whole quarter, and then just.
And at Tipton's house, for that matter. They were at Tipton, and you were right. They went with them blow for blow at the Lady Cardinals house. But I see them lining up now. We're going to go ahead and get the national anthem, so we'll take a commercial break. Come back with your starting lineups in just a moment. You're listening to KS95 Sports.
The Tipton Latham Bank is a locally owned and operated, full-service, independent community bank, serving the area since 1906. The Tipton Latham Bank, N.A., is an equal housing lender and a member FDIC. The Tipton Latham Bank is a proud supporter of local high school athletics. Stop by the Tipton or Latham branch or visit TiptonLathamBank.com. Dunn Property Management is currently taking applications for 2-bedroom, 1-bath units in Eldon open now. Rent includes snow removal and lawn services. Move-in ready right away in new construction units. Locally owned and locally operated with full-time maintenance staff and full-time office manager. They're close to churches, the senior center, shopping, and parks. For more information, stop by their new offices at 1306 South Business 54 or call Dunn Property Management today, 573-569-1200.
Sacalaris Ford in Versailles is proud of their growing customer base. When a customer and their family has bought 18 Fords from the Versailles location, you know the team is doing something right. The Versailles Ford Store Sales Department customer viewpoint is 100%. That means that every new vehicle sold, the customer is literally 100% satisfied. Sacalaris Ford in Versailles is big enough to serve you and small enough to care. For brand new Ford products, Ford certified pre-owned, service, tires, and Ford parts and award-winning customer satisfaction, it's Sacalaris Ford of Versailles.
Spring into green with Seidenberger Nobe Partners. Accelerate your productivity with one of our John Deere compact tractors. Right now, take advantage of 0% financing for 84 months with zero down, featuring payments as low as $210 a month. From landscapes to farming, these compact tractors can handle a variety of tasks. Seidenberger Nobe, your partner for the land. snpartners.com.
Offer valid through 4/26/2024. Some restrictions apply. See dealer for details.
And we are back at the H&R Block for Sales pregame show. Time to meet the starting lineups first. The home team on the scoreboard. Never mind, let's do visitors first. That makes way more sense. Starting for the visiting Tipton Lady Cardinals under head coach Jason Culpepper, assisted by J.D. Schlotthauer and Cameron Hurst. For them, number 1, Courtney Edwards, a senior. Number 10, Charlie Bailey, a junior. Number 11, Madeline Hagerman, a senior. Number 24, Clara Williams, a sophomore. And number 45, Ava Schlotthauer, also a sophomore. The starters for the Stover Lady Bulldogs. Starting things off, number 10, Ashlyn Pinsky, the standout junior, and a 1,000-point scorer already. Number 12, Hannah Bauer, senior, sharpshooter from the outside. Number 13, Brooklyn Black, the junior. Boy, the band is fired up tonight. Number 20, that is Callie Cochran. She is a senior. And rounding out the starting lineup, Helen Black, number 30, and a senior. Lady Bulldogs under head coach Jake Reardon, assisted by Andy Moon. As I mentioned, Stover in the home whites. They'll be going to the basket to our right, and Tipton in their road reds going to the basket to our left. I'll be interested to see early. Tipton has pressed in some games, others they haven't. Coach Reardon said he's going to throw a little junk out there. He wants to really put some pressure on the guards, run them off the line, and let the bigs battle down low. Brock, I think we could have a fun one here.
I hope so. I'm ready to see some basketball tonight.
Pinsky wins the tip against Hagerman, but it goes straight to Edwards all the way to the basket. Her layup too strong. Rebound pulled in by Williams. Out to Hagerman. Works it over to Bailey, who gives it to Edwards. Steps into the short corner before skipping to the top of the key to Williams. Clara drives, goes to Hagerman. Patient offense. This is that junk defense, excuse me. Offensive board, Schlotthauer. She makes space. Her shot partially blocked out of bounds. Will stay with the Lady Cardinals. I think this is a junk defense. They move like man.
Couldn't figure it out, Colton. They're matching up with some, and they're not with others. I have not found through it yet.
Well, a 3 from the corner knocked down by Bailey for the first points of the game. That's not the player you want to leave wide open. So Stover looking to get their offense going. On the outside is Black. Long stride. She flips it off the glass. Shot too strong. Good box out, but it winds up back in the hands of Brooklyn. Her offensive board is blocked by Edwards. Out to Pinsky. She makes a little space, finds Bauer on the right side. A shot fake and a drive. Good defense by Williams. A second drive. Baseline. Reverse layup. Bauer won't go. Offensive board by Black. Put up, and she is fouled.
There you go. Both teams started out with getting a couple offensive rebounds off the bat there. Both teams might wind up with early points off second chance points.
Also,
early.
Nice to see Bauer attacking early. I know she can sit out there, catch and shoot, but if she can get to the baseline and make some space, it really changes the dynamic. Black's first free throw is short. Second one coming up. This is the Chuck Yo, the Land Pro, first quarter, and we are streaming at MoSportsZone.com. Helen Black's second free throw rattles around, comes off Edwards the board. So the lead stays at 3-0. Players hit the floor, Schlotthauer and Pinsky, and a near turnover. It is a steal. Brooklyn Black with the steal. So the defense from Stover has been sound early. Pinsky on the point, double screen set by Black and Cochran. Frees Pinsky up for a 3 off the front iron, won't go. Schlotthauer the board. Tipton wants to run. The pass is tipped, though, and restolen by Helen Black. Stover does not look afraid or timid early in this one. Bauer gives it to Black. Her free throw line jumper blocked by Schlotthauer. Edwards pulls it down, and Tipton will reset. Clara Williams running the point. She hits the crossover. Extra pass inside. Schlotthauer, her layup on the left side, up and good.
They did a good job there. Stover did that time, Colton. Tipton was trying to break. They got back on defense, slowed them down, but Tipton still winds up with getting an open layup.
And still moving on the screen was Black. She'll get called. I should say Helen Black with the moving screen. So this is a situation down 5-0. Not a big deal for Stover early, but you've got to get this under control. You can't allow a big run to start the game.
Done a decent job of turning them over here for, first 2 minutes of the game. So let's see if they can keep getting a few steals here.
Instead, a two-man game. Edwards to Schlotzhauer on the pick and roll. Ava's got her second bucket of the game. They lead 7-0. Pinsky gets the play call in from Coach Reardon. 5:35 to play in the Chuck Yodeland Pro first quarter. In the corner, she gets an open look from three, and Ashland knocks it down.
Yeah, Colton, they ran a set out there at the top. It was like 4 high, and then they ran a double back screen for her. She got the open shot and, made the most of it. Like I said at the beginning, got to make those open shots.
And good defense played by Brooklyn Black as she forces the carry. Ball back to the Bulldogs. So Stover ladies trailing by 4, but they have the basketball with 5:15 to go in the first quarter. Stover runs a 2 high post set. Little pick and roll action. Bauer winds up with it in the corner. Goes to Brooklyn Black at the top of the key. A couple fakes working against Hagerman. They've got Charlie Bailey out on Ashland Pinsky. Those two, both juniors. It's been fun to watch them for 3 years now. Just very impressive athletes. Pinsky receives the pass, was trying to save it, but pass just carried her all the way to the Tipton bench. So turnover back to the Lady Bulldogs. Clara Williams on the point. Just a sophomore, but she has had a great sophomore year already. Sets a screen for Bailey, who drives, goes to Edwards. Corner 3. It's short. She gets her own miss all the way to the basket. She is fouled and will shoot 2.
A lot of offensive rebounds here early, Colton, on both sides of the ball here.
Courtney Edwards is a player for Tipton who may not always light up the scoreboard, but does a great job just rebounding, great defense as she knocks down the first free throw. I feel like it's extremely important on every team to have that player that, even if they're not scoring a bunch, still impacts the game. The second free throw is good as well for Edwards. So Stover back on offense, 9-3, the Tipton lead. We've got 4:30 to go in this first quarter of action. Pinsky uses the Helm Black screen, gives it to Brooklyn. She'll launch a 3. It's too strong. Rebound pulled in by Williams. Tipton wants to run. Claire in the middle of the floor gives it up to Bailey, sets her feet, fires a 3, and rattles it home. Charlie Bailey, her second 3 of the evening. Chuck had been in a bit of a shooting slump coming into this one, so I'm sure Coach Culpepper happy to see that as it's a steal by Hagerman. Firing ahead is Edwards. She feeds it to Schlotzhauer, open in the middle of the floor for the lay-in, and just like that, 14-3 is the lead. Stover wants the timeout, and I think they need it here, Brock. You got to slow that momentum down.
Yep, Tipton was turning Stover over there a couple possessions right in a row, and then just ran the floor, got a couple open layups. Next thing you know, it's an 11-point game.
Now, I can't help but notice Helen Black has picked up 2 fouls already, 4 minutes into this first quarter. If you're Coach Reardon, do you think about going to your bench, or are you more concerned with controlling the paint early in this game?
It's early. I think you got to go to the bench here. She's got 2. You've got a decent, bench. You might lose some size in there, but I think you've got to put somebody else in there just so she doesn't pick up another foul before the half. She's probably got to sit this whole quarter for me, Colton.
And she is going to stay out there, actually. I'm a little surprised because someone we saw in the tournament a lot was number 41, Casey Dills, the sophomore. She carries that size, and I thought she played well in the Stover tournament. But Helen Black, coach, going to trust her to stay out there with 2 fouls. Reese Brown, though, has checked into the game. So Stover with the ball down 11, 3:45 to go in this first quarter. And Charlie Bailey pressuring Pinsky all the way out at the half-court line. Brown sets the screen. Bailey gets around it. Pinsky drives free throw line. Spin move, turnaround jumper. Out of bounds. They're going to say it was touched by Bailey. Great defense, I firmly believe, is a hustle stat. I mean, I feel like anybody can defend. And look at that. Pinsky throws it off the back of Schlotzhauer to herself. Steps out, pulls the 3, and hits it. Wow. That's quite the athletic play. Edwards drives, and her shot blocked by Black. Stover with some momentum. It's stolen by Anna Crane. Crane all the way to the basket, left hand up and good. A flurry of offense. 16-6. Tipton essentially leads Ashlyn Pinsky right now. She's got all 6 of the Stover points. Mia Rowland into the game for the first time finds Bauer. Bauer a shot fake, trying to make some space, goes back to Pinsky. She drives, and a foul on the floor. Bailey was trying to force the jump, but got Pinsky on the arm first. Well, Ashlyn looks aggressive to start this game.
Yep, Colton, she's hit a couple shots already. Looks like she wants to beat these girls. Just that last set, they ran another double screen to try to get Bauer open at the top of the key. They like to run those for the wing and the top of the key, so look out for that. Tipton's got to adjust to those.
And here's your problem now. Rowland's 3 misses, but maybe more importantly, Helen Black going to get called for the push. That is her 3rd foul. We've still got 2:38 to go in the first. She's going to go to the bench. I don't know if we'll see her again in the first half. That's a tough situation for Helen. So in the game for her, Cochran came back, but Clara Williams finds the lane all the way to the rim, lays it up and in. It's 18-6, Tipton by 12. Bauer now on the point. Gives it to Pinsky on the left side. Once again, Bailey all the way out on her at half court. Bailey pokes it loose. It's on the floor. Edwards and Cochran both getting after it. A jump ball going to be called. Just good defense once again. Charlie Bailey able to poke that one loose. Coming up next, boy, that should be a great boys game. Stover and Tipton, casing our title implications for both those teams. It's going to be a fun one. Rowland to Pinsky. Just inside the 3-point line. She'll step back out with it. We're under 2 minutes to play in the Chuck Yoder Lampro first quarter. Rowland back to Pinsky. Stover really trying to spread out this Tipton man defense.
They were 5 out there for a second. They are 5 out.
Yeah.
They're running, looks like they're running one baseline, maybe short corner, but
I like the tactic. Out. But Edwards jumps the passing lane, knocks it loose, goes all the way coast to coast for the lay-in. I like the spread offense, but you've got to be able to hold on to the ball with it. And Edwards just guessed a pass before it got there. 20-6, the Tipton lead over Stover. Rowland tries to fire baseline, but Edwards was waiting for her. But Edwards' heel was on the baseline. Ball will stay with the Lady Bulldogs.
You think you will see another one off the back here?
I thought there was a chance, but you don't see that play very often. Pinsky used the Bauer screen. Nothing there. Fires it over to Bauer. 1:08 to play. Mia Rowland from the corner up and good. So Stover's offense is the 3-point line. Mia's got such a good-looking jump shot.
All their points coming off threes right now, Colton.
Mia just a sophomore. 48 seconds to go, 20-9, the Tipton lead. Clara Williams tries to answer with a corner 3. It's short. Board pulled in by Pinsky. Stover could cut it to single digits, but the pass ahead too hot to handle, out of bounds. Turnover back to the Lady Cardinals.
I get you've got transition there, Colton, but I think if you're Stover, you've got to slow the ball down and just try to get a good shot. There's 40 seconds left. Try to get a layup. Try to get another open 3. Now you give the ball back to Tipton right before the end of the quarter.
And Anna Crane buries a 3 from the top of the key just to really add to that turnover. 23-9. So you went from cutting it to single digits to a 14-point lead. Rowland tries to answer. Her shot off the front iron. So now Tipton going to have a look before the quarter ends. Bailey to Edwards. She drives to the corner. Crane left open from 3. It's short. Offensive board. Schlotzhauer, her put back up and good. Yeah. That's a tough ending to the first quarter as the full court heaves falls short. 25-9. Tipton leads Stover. I had to say every team before I got there. Tipton leads Stover 25-9. Second quarter coming up. You're listening to KS95 Sports.
Divine and the Land Pro team will provide you with excellent service and more than 25 years of combined knowledge of the local real estate market. Looking to buy or sell land or farms in Miller, Morgan, or Camden County? Call Chuck Yo, the Land Pro, at 573-280-4452. Victoria Divine makes finding your next home enjoyable, utilizing the latest technology to bring buyers and sellers together. Buying a home is a big decision. Trust Victoria Divine to handle all the details for you. Divine and Associates, powered by eXp Realty, located across from Wood Supermarket in Eldon.
Back with the second quarter, Gladstone Co-Boat Trailer Sales second quarter. Brock, I felt like when Stover just went at a normal pace, when they didn't try to push the tempo too much, they handled the Tipton pressure well, but I don't think speed is the Lady Bulldogs' friend right now.
Yeah, that's how Tipton wants to play. They want to make you play fast. They want to force you to make turnovers. And, that usually makes teams want to play with you. You think, okay, well, we've got to play as fast as they do, when that's not the case. You want to slow them down, kind of grind them out, take some longer possessions and try to swing that ball around, work the rock in, get some good open layups or some open shots.
For the Stover ladies, the offense has been nothing but threes right now, but as long as they're falling, you don't mind it. You're just going to need more of them. 25-9, the Tipton lead. Courtney Edwards lines up and dots a three. That's what you don't want to see if you're an opposing team. Courtney Edwards last year, a 53% three-point shooter, which is absurd. This year, I think she's flirting with 40% right now, which is still really good. A lob to the low block. Brooklyn Black gets it, and she is fouled on the shot. She'll go to the line for two. I believe Hagerman going to get called for the foul. That is the case. Once again, both these teams just trying to get ready for districts coming up next week. Brooklyn's first free throw up and good. Brooklyn has a very unique shooting form. It kind of reminds me, and I don't mean this as it's going to sound, it reminds me of how you throw a shot put. But the first one goes, second one is long, and the offensive board winds up in the hands of Black. She'll step back and try a three off the back iron. She gets another offensive board. Bailey pokes it loose, but Pinsky able to secure it. Ashland going to reset the offense. They're running one high post, that is Cochran. Bailey and Pinsky going at it. The ball poked loose, and Bailey has it. Charlie Bailey may be the best defender in this area, boys or girls. And a travel on the fast break for Tipton, so turnover back to the Lady Bulldogs. I mean, everybody knows the Tipton offense. You hear about the points they score, but I don't think people truly appreciate it. It starts with their defense. They play very good, sound defense, and that's what keeps them in these games, even when shots aren't falling.
Oh, yeah, they force turnovers and get layups, like it's nobody's business.
Yeah, it's the easiest shot on the floor for anybody but me. But, yeah, it's it's funny because it's true. Clara Williams pokes it loose, but it will stay with the Lady Bulldogs. 28-10. Tipton in control here in the Gladstone Co-Boat Trailer Sales second quarter. Bauer in the corner thought about the shot. Claire there to contest. She goes inside to Brooklyn Black, working against Hagerman. Back out to Bauer. She'll fire the three, just short. Rebound pulled in by Bailey. Charlie wants to run. Kicks it to Hagerman. Long two up and good. Had a coach that once called that the worst shot in basketball.
Yeah, Colton. Heels on the line. If you got your feet behind that, it's worth one more extra point. You're making that long layup.
That's all it is. 30-10. The Tipton lead, 6 minutes to go, and another moving screen called on Stover. Second one we've seen already. Schlotzhauer going to come back into the game. She'll check in for Courtney Edwards. So on the court for Tipton, it's Clara. Oh, excuse me. She wasn't the only one that checked in. Also checking in for the Tipton Lady Cardinals, Lara Petrie. So it's Petrie, Clara Williams, Ava Schlotzhauer, Madeline Hagerman, and Charlie Bailey. Oh, she was standing in front of the bench, so that lost me. For Stover, Brooklyn Black, Callie Cochran, Reese Brown, Hannah Bauer, and Ashlyn Pinsky. After the officials take some time to discuss the meaning of life, we're ready to play. Stover now looks like setting up in a 2-3 zone. Bailey drives, dishes out to Petrie. Back to Bailey.
They are packed in the paint. Colton, they do not want any more layups, but they're going to give up.
They're going to give up a mid-range floater instead. That's kind of Charlie's trademark shot. Bailey has gotten better and better this year. Screen by Cochran. Frees up Brooklyn Black. Quick and roll game. Cochran gets the rim. Shot won't go. Reese Brown, the offensive board. Fires it back to Callie. Bauer calling for it. Good closeout by Williams. Brooklyn drives. Goes to Pinsky. Pinsky attacks. And a blocking foul going to be called on Lara Petrie.
Colton, Tipton looks like they're trying to jump some of these passes, Stover needs to give like a ball fake and then just attack the rim. Then you're either going to get a layup, you're going to get fouled, or you're going to have somebody open.
Yeah, a shot fake can completely open up lanes, especially when teams are used to being able to jump them. However, the defense, Clara Williams forces an errant pass out of bounds. Ball back to the Lady Cardinals. Pretty good crowd on hand tonight. Always love doing games at the Dome. This is such a cool place to play. Bailey to Petrie in the corner. She steps inside. Yeah, you're not wrong. They don't care about threes anymore. They're just packing the paint, but it doesn't matter. A runner from Bailey off the glass, up and good. Charlie Bailey with the little one-footed floaters or runners, whatever you want to call them, is as good as anybody. It's fun to watch. Pinsky working against Bailey. Tipton staying with straight man. A switch briefly between Hagerman and Bailey. Bailey will stay with Pinsky. Hagerman harassing Brooklyn Black. She gives it to Bauer. Space in the corner. Fires the three. Shot is long. But the offensive board chased down by Cochran. A three by Pinsky won't go. Long rebound. Last touch by Tipton. We'll stay with the Lady Bulldogs. Petrie and Hagerman will get a rest in for them. Clara Williams and Anna Crane. Courtney Edwards and Anna Crane.
Still in this two high post set, Colton.
Yeah, Stover, they like to set the double screens out of it. A deep three from Pinsky, draws iron, nothing else. Schlotzhauer able to pull it down. She was trying to throw ahead, picked off, but restolen by Williams. Clara holds the pivot foot, needs help, finds Courtney Edwards. Outside, Bailey sets her feet, three halfway down, wouldn't go. Bauer the rebound. And a trap in the corner, ball is knocked loose, will stay with Stover. 34-10, 4:04 to play in the Gladstone Co-Boat Trailer Sales second quarter. Stover with the ball trying to find some kind of offense. Brooklyn Black long two. Off the back iron, Schlotzhauer another board, and she is fouled. Ava only 5'9", but she's already had a couple 30-20 games this year, which I feel like is just a rarity.
Yeah, that's putting up some numbers. That's padding the old stat book there for sure.
Well, one that I know you'll appreciate is she at one point this season went 26 of 26 from the free throw line. I know you a former Elks hoop shoot champion in your own right.
Love it when people attack the basket and make their free throws.
Williams had a look from three, instead steps into the mid-range. Her shot is short. Board pulled in by Pinsky.
Oh, that looks long.
Oh, but it's ran down by Rowland. She drives the middle of the floor, and I think that was one of those the ref had to stop and think about it for a second. I don't know. I'm always confused on where the gather is. If you have to take that bounce to gather it, are they counting it as a dribble or are they not?
Well, the jump stop's just kind of a lost art anymore, Colton.
That's
so,
true.
And with this gather step, it really threw a wrench in that kind of stuff. So
it leaves it up to the officials' discretion. Clara Williams splits the defenders, goes up for the layup. It won't go, but she is fouled and will shoot two. So these Tipton ladies, they have aspirations of going back-to-back as state champions. Standing in their way, though, potentially in the Final Four, if they would reach it, they would have a date with Skyline, and those girls can play. First free throw for Williams, up and good. Britt, don't you start yawning. It's too early in the night to be yawning. Second free throw for Clara is short. Bauer another board. 35-10. I feel like Stover's been stuck on 10 for a minute now, and it's a steal by Bailey.
Well, it's been a while since either team had scored there until She made that free throw, Colton.
Edwards, 3, top of the key, up and good. Assist Charlie Bailey. Timeout called on the floor. We'll take the break as well. It's 38-10, Tipton in control. You're listening to KS95 Sports.
Hi, I'm Brandon, and welcome to Gladstone Cove Boat Trailer Sales. Do you need a trailer to get your boat out of the water? Maybe just a replacement trailer. Or considering selling your boat and you know a trailer will help get it done. We carry 11 lines of high-quality boat trailers, and if we don't have what you need, we also build our very own line of custom aluminum boat trailers. Thanks to everyone that's been by or just heard of us and gave us a referral. From my family to yours, we can't thank you enough.
2:59 to play in the Gladstone Cove Boat Trailer Sales second quarter. 38-10. The Tipton ladies in full control. Brock, if you're Stover, what can you do to attack this Tipton defense and maybe get some good looks?
The double screen has worked, but they're starting to hedge over it and switch on it. You got to run something different, I think. You got to run a different set. The offense has been kind of stagnant because they're, like I said, they're switching on everything on the back screen. So when they start switching, you just got to slip, see if you can get some action out of that.
I like it. A good slip here and there can catch the defense off guard. A reach-in foul going to be called. I believe they're going to get Crane. And that is the case. Anna Crane, usually the sixth man for this squad, and she has been very effective as Kohler will check into the game, make her first appearance. Brooklyn Black back in for Stover. She'll check in for Callie Cochran. She joins Dills, Bauer, Rowland, and Pinsky. Couple down screens on the inbounds. They were trying to go low to Dills, but it was taken away. Instead, Bauer has it. Quick hands from Edwards, knocks it out of bounds, stays with the Lady Bulldogs. Pinsky on the point, 2:20 to play in a 28-point game. Goes to Rowland, inside. Turnaround jumper, no good for Brooklyn Black. Courtney Edwards, the board, and she'll bring it up the floor. Kicks it to the corner. Schlotzhauer steps into a three. It is long. Crane with the board. Goes to Bailey. She drives. Courtney thought about another three. She will take it. It's off the front iron, no good. And the board finally secured by Dills. Doesn't feel like Courtney got a clean release. She kind of bobbled it at first. Rowland tries to fire three of her own and gets it. Mia Rowland, I think that's her second three of the game.
Yes, it is.
Girl can shoot, just a sophomore.
All but 1 point coming from threes, Colton.
Edwards on the drive, drops Rowland, and she's going to get called for a reach. There's a beehive in there. It does this. So Tipton inbound under their own basket with 1:35 left in the quarter. Bailey's the trigger man. Needs somebody.
Oh, that's got to be about 5.
That is a 5-second call. So great defense by Stover, forcing the 5-second call.
You've called a lot of Tipton games. How often does that happen?
I think it's the first time I've called it this season for them.
There you go.
That's big for the Stover ladies. Shows you can guard these girls. And Schlotzhauer going to get called for the blocking foul. Out on Pinsky, they tried to switch it, and Ashland just a little quicker than Ava. Even though those two about the same size, Ashland may even be a little taller than Ava. Ava at 5'9", Ashland may be closer to 5'10". But Ava steals the inbounds. Schlotzhauer wants to run left side of the basket. Extra pass was looking for Bailey, but Bauer was there. Tips it out of bounds.
1:21 to go here in the corner.
The band getting all warmed up.
Boy, they were rocking before the game.
You can't miss them. The inbounds. Crane, top of the key. Drives, goes to Schlotzhauer in the short corner. Shot fake, skips it to Edwards, but skipped it a little too hot as it wound up in the hands of Culpepper, and I don't believe he is legally in this game. So Clara Williams going to check back in, comes in for Ava. 38-13. Stover has definitely slowed Tipton down some in this second quarter, though. Roland to Bauer. Run a little weave offense. Goes over to Pinsky. Deep three. Up and good.
Another three for Stover, Colton.
That's what they've got right now. They're struggling to get inside and get looks. So you fire three, and it's a steal by Brooklyn Black. She wants to run with it. Bailey back to contest. The layup won't go. Rebound, Charlie Bailey. Now she wants to run. Tipton has numbers on the fast break. Bailey goes up with it, right hand off the glass and in.
That's a good finish there, Colton. Bauer got back on defense, and that was a good finish.
Yeah, it was a great job by Hannah to get back and contest the shot and to keep her hand straight up as to not give Charlie an and one opportunity. Under 30 seconds to play. 40-16 is the Tipton lead. Pinsky with Bailey draped all over her. She is pressuring Ashland all the way back to the half-court line.
Looks like they're trying to get one last shot here, Colton. 12 seconds to go.
I think it's a smart move because at the end of the first quarter, they allowed about 2 extra shots from Tipton. And a 5-second call going to be made as Charlie Bailey would not leave Ashland Pinsky's hip. It's going to be a turnover. So I like the last second call, but you got to be aware of the 5 count.
You got to be.
They get it into Clara. 3 seconds to go. It's tipped out of bounds. So with 1.6 left, Tipton's going to have about enough time to catch and shoot.
Stover needs to not foul here, Colton. That would be not a good thing right before the half.
Any foul would be free throws. Williams steps into a three, lets it fly. Uncontested, but it is short. So at the half, 40-16, the Tipton ladies lead. We'll come back with the Hy-Vee halftime show in just a moment. You're listening to KS95 Sports.
This is Como Connect Internet Court. All rise for the Honorable Judge Chip Thunder.
Be seated. I can see from my notes here, Mr. Plaintiff, that you have slow internet.
Yes,
Guilty!
But I didn't plead my case.
It don't matter. No excuse for slow internet. Como Connect has ultra-fast internet at ComoConnect.com. Bailiff Snuggles, get this man out of my courtroom.
Your bailiff is a T-Rex? Why?
Because I'm Judge Chip Thunder, baby!
The goal of the Morgan County Health Center in Versailles is to make sure you feel your best and stay that way. A few of the public health and community services available at the Morgan County Health Center include CPR and first aid training, food safety classes, educational materials and classes promoting healthy lifestyles and activities, children and adult immunizations, and nutrition for expectant mothers and young children through the WIC program. For more information, follow the Morgan County Health Center on Facebook or call 378-5438. The Morgan County Health Center at 104 West Lafayette in Versailles, connecting the community to healthy choices.
It's not called a farm won't or a farm can't. It's the Case IH Farm All Series, and it's available now at Crown Power and Equipment. And instead of telling you that the Case IH Farm All can do baling, mowing, pulling, raking, and digging, we'll just give you the list of things it won't do. Ready? Nothing. Get your Case IH Farm All Series today at Crown Power and Equipment and find out why Can Do comes in red. Crown Power and Equipment. Passion, power, performance. Find a location near you at crown-power.com.
Every day, your Jefferson City and Osage Beach Hy-Vee pharmacies are committed to your health and wellness. If you're enrolled in Medicare Part B, Medicare Advantage plans, and most commercial plans, they'll cover up to 8 over-the-counter COVID-19 tests per month at no cost through Hy-Vee. Most plans cover these costs and no prescription is required. Stop in at your Osage Beach or Jefferson City Hy-Vee pharmacy and see the helpful pharmacy staff today.
Back with the Hy-Vee halftime show. 40-16 is the Tipton lead over the Stover ladies. And Brock, we were kind of joking in between or during the commercial break. Stover's offense has literally been the three-point line.
Yep. I shot 4 free throws, made 1 of the 4. Everything else has been from behind the arc.
It makes sense if you're struggling to get in the lane and you've got looks outside. If we want to be more specific than that, they have 16 of them, and 15, I believe, are from Ashlyn Pinsky and Mia Rowland's threes. I think they're the only 2 that have hit threes for Stover.
The only problem with that is Tipton's hit 5 threes as well. So
they've also hit some 2-point field goals, haven't they?
Yes, they have. So
Tipton has done a lot on the fast break. Look at this sharp-dressed fella coming over here.
Both teams shooting well this half, Colton.
The assistant coach for the Stover boys basketball team, Brendan Bauer, coming over here right now. I'm not going to put a headset on you, but coming up next, the boys in action, Stover and Tipton boys. And I just, like I said, just make sure I understood correctly. I went and asked Coach Espy. Said, so if you guys win, if Stover defeats Tipton, that means Friday, you and Colcamp, the winner walks away with the K-Singer title. It's like, that's spot on. He said, if they would lose, if Tipton wins, then their game with Colcamp could potentially decide if there is a three-way tie for the K-Singer title. Now, Tipton plays Sacred Heart later this week, and that game, of course, comes into play as well. So a lot of big implications riding on that game. And, I mean, Brock, I know you've seen the Stover boys a lot this year. They seem to be getting better as the year goes along.
Yeah, Colton, they play great in this building. They play great here. They beat 19-2 Crestridge the other night by double-digit margin. I think it was 16, and that Crestridge team was no joke. But Stover was playing really well.
Here, we both grew up watching of us specifically. I remember,
and like I said, so did Sacred Heart. I went and watched, I think, his